The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development, with a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Tony, you have somebody to introduce.
I do, your friend.
Yes.
Are you ready? All right. Well, we're going to bring her in. Sometimes I wait for them before I introduce them so I can see their face because they have such an extensive resume, as you do. You've traveled the globe doing what you do. So we're honored. Chantelle Simone, you're a mindologist. Is that what I'm reading there? Mindologist?
That's it. Watch out.
You know that girl over there? Crystal? I call her Cry Style.
This way. Crystal.
Hi, Chantelle. How are you?
Hello. It's awesome to be here with Tony. Pleasure to meet you. Miss Crystal. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah. Yep. I'm either calling her Crystal or she's Cry Style. But you are Chantelle Simone or Simone? Simone.
Simone.
I like that. Simone. But you are the founder and CEO of Chantelle Simone International. You're an experienced professional in the field of mind mastery, actually since 2013, and being in the training and coaching industry for over 20 years. You're not even 21 yet, but whatever, 20 years. She has obtained a master's certification in neuro-linguistics programming, NLP, timeline therapy, and business process reengineering with a Bachelor of Commons degree in business management. She has expanded her professional reach to Japan, Australia, the United Kingdom, Canada, USA, and the Caribbean. Her mission is to transform souls, renew their minds, and help people just get to the core of who they really are. So honored to have you on our stage. Where'd my co-host go? She jumps off. So I'm not going to take any more of your time. We want to give you as much stage time as possible. What we're going to do is 5 minutes before we actually transition to the next speaker, we are going to jump on. So just wanted to give you a little heads up. If we interrupt you, we apologize in advance.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tony.
I have a presentation as well, yes?
Yes, I'll let you know when to cue it. I want to just speak to the people and see what we got going on before we start. So thank you so much. It's an awesome pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Amazing. Well, thank you guys. I hope you are enjoying the Best You Expo so far. I have been rocking and rolling with the Best You for the past, seems like a couple years now. And just, I love Bernardo, what he's doing and his team, who he's been able to put together to really impact the world. And those words, the Best You, utterly resonates with me because that was my mission and my purpose. I really started young and I wanted to really figure out, well, what is this process of life? How do I become the best version of myself? Because society says I can, but I don't really feel like it. And that's really how I stumbled upon my journey. But I wanted to welcome everybody. This is the main stage, Master Mentors and Influencers, and it's such an honor and privilege to be here. My message for you today is this. In working in women leadership, I have been blessed with working with such phenomenal women, people who are on the top 100 most influential women in Canada. I've been able to be blessed and work for a $1 billion organization and investment firm out in Toronto. I've been able to travel the world, meet entrepreneurs, meet leaders, meet stay-at-home moms, meet so many different types of women across the globe. And we all want one thing, is to make a difference. We were born to make a difference. And the thing is, we all do it in a unique way. That's why there is no competition, ladies and gents. There is no competition because we're all uniquely us. Now, one thing, that pursuit of getting to the best you and getting to the leader that you know you are inside, getting to the place where you know you can contribute, that road isn't always easy. And there are some blind spots that we discover along the way. So today what I'm doing is I'm going to take my 20 odd years of working with amazing people, holding multiple leadership roles myself, and really deep dive into the 5 blind spots that women leaders really need to realize. So let's get to it. I'm excited to do it. And if you are watching here, just send us a chat because I want to make sure that you are on, you are here. Send us a note in the comments. Definitely engage. Feel free to ask questions along the way because we're here to do this together. Y'all ready? Let's go. So the producer, can you please start up the slides and let's take it away. As the slides are coming up, we're going to be deep diving into talking about the 5 blind spots women leaders need to recognize or realize. Now, one of the key things as we move to the next slide is let's talk about women leadership, because women who lead often don't identify. So as we move to the next slide, women who lead. Are you a woman who leads? Because guess what? Leadership is not just in a boardroom. It's not just being a CEO and being a C-level executive, but you could be leading your home, your business. Heck, you could just be leading your own life. So in some way, shape, or form, you do lead, don't you? So now that we established we're all leaders, and of course, I'm speaking my heart to reaches out to the heart of women because I am one. I meet a lot of them and we get along pretty well and we have a lot in common. Men absolutely join in on the conversation. And I also meet a lot of men that support women who lead. So that's beautiful. So I will be addressing women. Men, I don't mean to leave you out, but women, this truly is for you. Now, one of the key things behind women leadership is we have to show up. You know, you hear about it. You're in the personal development world. That's why you're here watching us, because the major part of the whole journey is just showing up. You showed up here today, or whether you're catching it on the replay. And as we show up as the best version of ourselves that we can. Now, let me ask you a question. What happens when nobody else is looking? What happens behind closed doors? It's just you and your thoughts. You and your mind to roam free. What do you think about? Do you really believe that you are able to achieve what you can achieve? Do you ever doubt yourself? You see, let's really get real today. And as we go to the next slide, we're really going to deep dive into some key things. And I want to just share a little bit about my journey, especially if it's the first time that you ever met me. For me, my journey is I was on a self-discovery journey since the age of 8. Because I grew up watching statistics of where I would go as a young Black female, where I could lead, where my life could lead or end up. And I didn't want to have to depend on the government. I didn't want to have to depend on a man. I didn't want to have to depend, and actually that was instilled in me from my parents, like, make sure you don't depend on anyone, go and get what you got to get. So, but the thing is, I did it society's way, and a lot of us have. You know, we went to school, got a good job, get a good education. Some of us had struggles even doing that. Some of us dropped out and became entrepreneurs, or just did the best we can with the resources that we could. But either way, I realized that it didn't fulfill me. I was blessed to build a real estate portfolio, to drive the cars and have the house and at a young age, but I still wasn't fulfilled, and society lied to me. I don't know if you can resonate with that, but let me tell you, that's not a good feeling to know, like, to feel lost and like, well, what really is the point? Why am I really here? So I went searching. This is me on Machu Picchu, at the top of Machu Picchu. For those of you know, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world in Peru. And, you know, just sitting there, taking that fresh air and just meditating and saying, God, why am I here? What am I really here to do? How do I really be the best version of me? That was my journey. And so it led me, moving to the next slide, a little bit about me, it led me to pursuing knowledge. And so I just stumbled upon these master certifications, and now I show leaders how to align with their truth so they can serve at their highest value, their highest potential, their best self. So if you click through, you'll be able to see that, you know, I've been in front of rooms, and I've been training for 20 years. Yes, I know I didn't start it when I was 2. You know, it's just, I call it, I'm blessed with good genes. So I've been doing this for 20 years. I started young at the YMCA. So I've been in front of rooms, just sharing my passion, my knowledge, what has been passed on to me from my mentors. And I've been able to conduct thousands of training sessions. I build certification programs, and that's all leading me now to actually launching my own online university called Mindology Academy. If you're following me on YouTube, you could definitely check it out, Chantelle Simone Mindology. I'm doing 103 days of behind the scene of taking all the knowledge and training and expertise that I have learned, as well as the beautiful women that I'm locking arms with side by side as we lead, and putting it on an academy available for those who need. So I'm very excited about that. So the short story is my personal belief, as you continue to click through, is really all things are possible. And you get that through being authentic, through achieving results and operating in excellence. So I'm blessed to be able to do that. So today, one of the key things I wanted to share is, as we go on our journeys, there's one key question that I want to ask you. And as we move to the next slide, you'll see it. Women, we show up, right? We feel like almost super women, like we got an S on our chest, or what, Wonder Woman, whichever superhero that resonates with you. You show up in the world, you got your children on your back, you're serving your husband or serving your community or your parents, and you're an entrepreneur. You feel like you have multiple hands. That's how we're made, because women, look, we can do it. You give it to us, we'll get it done. Isn't that right, ladies? Here's the question. At what cost? And as you click it, you'll see that question, at what cost? Normally, it's at the cost of ourselves.
It is said that we live in a world our questions create. And it's true. Those that have succeeded in life, those that stand out, those that have made a difference, those that are inventing, those that are exploring, pushing the boundaries of reality, are based on those that have asked themselves empowering questions. In my new book, The Question, Find Your True Purpose, I help you find your true purpose, find your legacy. For more information, go to www.thequestion.co. If you're interested in working with me, contributing, speaking at any of our many events, partnering, or licensing The Best You, for more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Now, as you see, I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures, and I want to have a real talk conversation with you. Now, for me, I went on and I started to, after getting all these certifications, I started to travel and meet new people, work with groups of leaders. And I started to find that there's still that one thing that it's common in every place that I've been. Whether it was in Chicago, there's at the bottom right, that's me on the board of directors of Women Island Network when I was living in the Caribbean, right? Certifying people. And that was great. And speaking to everybody, we all have the same challenge. And I thought, okay, if we don't know, maybe the greats know. Let me go to the mentors and the masters that are known out there in the world. So as you move to the next slide, I started to seek mentorship from influencers. And you'll see me with Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight, Jay Shetty with all his wisdom, Ona and Les Brown, I love them dearly. Brian Tracy, he is a guru in the personal development industry. Even with Lisa Nichols. Now, this was 10 years ago. Lisa Nichols, who's actually here featured at The Best You. She's on the main stage. So I'm telling you, this was 10 years ago, Lisa and I had conversations. And more recently, Jada Pinkett Smith, I've been working with her and her team at the Red Table for the past couple of years. So I'm like, they don't know, right? They have all the answers. They're out there. They're empowering people. Guess what, ladies? They're just like us. And here's the most shocking thing as we move to the next slide that I discovered probably about 2 years ago. The worst part, if we don't actually address that issue, that underlying issue that we actually don't often talk about, which I'm so blessed and happy to be working with the Red Table because Jade is actually talking about those situations. The worst thing is that it passes down to the generations. Jada's challenges pass it down to her daughter, Willow. Debbie Moore, I had the blessing of meeting her and the privilege of just hearing her story and just hearing how her pains and her sorrows passed on to her kids. So today we're going to do something about it. Are you ready? Because deep down, we all go through challenges. We all go through battles. So what's the real challenge? all roads lead to, and you'll see it on the next slide, value. How do we really value ourselves? Because if we really value ourselves, we put our foot down when we're experiencing abuse at work or at home or in other situations. We'd speak up when we have something to say. We'd be able to talk, to set boundaries. Our boundaries get run over too many times. We got to know our value. So now the question becomes, how? How do we know our value? Well, I'm going to talk about the 5 key blind spots that women leaders need to realize, because this will unlock us deeper into who we are. And when we know who we are, we know our value. And when we know our value, we know our worth. And when we know our worth, look, all I have to say is, watch out, world, here we come. So you guys ready? You ready to hear the 5 blind spots? Let's do it. The first one. We're experts. We're teachers. We're educators. We're mentors. We help everybody. We're givers. The depth of knowledge about things is one thing. About a subject, that's one thing. About, communication or being a singer, that's one thing. But what's the depth of knowledge that you have about yourself? Do you truly know each and every crevice of you? Why you're here, how you're designed, why you have those gifts. What are you here to do? What is your God assignment? We all look for fulfillment. People say happiness, and I love happiness, yet let me tell you something, it's temporary. Happiness is a state, right? You can be happy at any instant once you decide, think of something happy, we smile, I'm happy. We want joy. We want fulfillment from the inside. But one of the key things that we never realize as women leaders is that we're learning all these other things about other people. We know what our husbands like, or what our kids like, or what our bosses like, or the type of, caramel macchiato with 2 shots of an extra shot of espresso. We know what others like, but what do we like? It's one of the missing keys to our development if we don't address it consistently. Let's go to the next one. The second blind spot is knowing when to take the mask off. Okay? Now, I get it. When you show up in a boardroom, or when you show up on the Best You EXPO, and you're live, you got to show up with all your umph, right? You got to show up and just be powerful, be masterful, or just, show up for other people, show up for your bosses, the clients, the congregation, the crowd. Sure. Even if we have a bad day, even if we're suffering through something. Now, the challenge is, and where the real blind spot is not having this discernment of when you can take off that mask. Some of us wear that mask so often that it's permanent. When do you get real with self? I have a hashtag, and it's Get Real with Self. And my other hashtag is about mirror conversations. I'll be launching products with the Mindology Academy. I'm so excited for it because we're just partnering with just phenomenal women, and it's powered by women. It's for women leaders. So yes, yes, and yes. Men are welcome. They can participate. But women, it's for you. And one of the products that we'll be launching is a mirror conversations kit. Because a lot of us meditate, and we may even have reflection time, but do we really glean the results that's needed? Or is it just something we do to feel good? Do we try to hear God? And I say try for a reason. You see, when we can have a mirror conversation and take that mask off and say, okay, self, why did you react that way? Why did you show up that way in that meeting? Why were you snooty to that lady? Why did you cut her down and say, ooh, could you see her? Why did you act that way? Or how did it make you feel when that person said that you look like you're 10 or 20 when you're really 30 or 40 or 50, or vice versa? Have those mirror conversations. You got to take the mask off and be vulnerable and just address it. Now, here's my disclaimer. There was a time and there's a place, right? You don't necessarily want to be, you can't be vulnerable all the time with everybody because, yes, there is something called judgment and people will judge and all these type of things. But you got to just at least factor in when to take off that mask. Y'all ready for number 3? Let's do it. Number 3, courage. Your courage comes from clarity. One of the biggest blind spots that I find that I when I speak backstage with other women speakers, or when I talk to authors as they're writing their book and they want to promote it, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. How did you? And they're like, well, I don't know if it's really going to sell, and I don't really know if I could say it. I hope I say the right words. Or after they came off stage, was I okay? All this doubt. How do we get the courage to show up every day? Is clarity in who you are, in your message, what you're about to share. One of the biggest things I say, like, we all know stories is one of the most powerful ways to communicate a message. So I remember there was a time when it was in 2009, I was an ambassador for a company and they flew me up to the Caribbean. That's how I started traveling there. They flew me out to the Caribbean to launch their company, and I was one of the key speakers and hosts of their event. So thousands of people in the room. And they said, okay, Chantelle, you're up. And I didn't know the timing. Like, sometimes putting on an event, it could be, there's a lot of moving parts, let's call it that, right? So with all these moving parts, they came to me one time, oh, Chantelle, you're up. And I wasn't expecting to be up at that time. I was actually going to go get something to eat. I was going to go for a break. And then they said, you're up. And I'm like, what? I'm up now? They're like, yep, you're up. You got to go. And I said, well, what am I talking about? They said, okay, I want you to talk about the product. And I said, the product. And I took a minute and I said, the product. And then I went through my head, what was my experience with the product? Okay, I know what it's like. I know what it's made out of. I know when I wear it, what people say to me, da-da-da. Okay, got it. Let's go. And it was okay because I knew what I was talking about. But if they told me to talk about the business side and the numbers, I may not have been ready for that. So it's one of the key things is, most of the time nowadays, what are you talking about? You're an expert on you and your own stories. So when you go up there, and that courage that you can have within, it comes from clarity in what you're going to communicate. If you've been working in a field for 15 years, or if you've been doing something for 15 years, you may not even be working in the field. You may have just inadvertently take care of the kids. People always call you up and say, hey, can you watch my daughter? I'm going to go on a date night with hubby. And you're always taking care of kids and taking care of kids. You don't have a daycare, but you got 15 years doing it. Someone came up and said, hey, can you talk about the challenges it is to watch children and what you got to go through? Sure you can. You got your experience. So clarity is what we want to seek clarity all the time. And most of the time, it takes somebody to really kind of shake you and say, this is you, this is it, don't you know? So I always recommend work with someone, work with a mentor, find a mentor, a coach, a program, go to the Mindology Academy when we launch the pre-launch in February and the official launch in April. Learn from someone or something so you get your clarity, and your courage comes right after that. So we got 2 more for you, ladies. And then I want to have just a real talk with you. I'm going to take off the PowerPoint. You're going to see me eye to eye closer. You all ready? Number 4 is the right to receive. Now, this one is a very important one because I meet women time and time again. We're givers. Any other givers here? If you're a giver, just shout us out. Hey, givers, I get you. Because with givers, what we do is we give. We're so used to giving. When we receive, it's like, huh? Oh, no, that's okay. I got it. Oh, no, don't worry. But, oh, no, I don't want to inconvenience you. Oh, no, not to worry. Right? But by giving, we bless others. We got to let them do the same. If everybody in the world was all givers and nobody was able to receive, what would that look like? Right? So not only the ability to receive, but the right to receive. You've worked hard. You've hustled. You've been through your own journeys, your own battles. Let someone bless you. Let someone lift you up. I'm going to share a little later about a community that we're developing, and and we're having a Collabo Call. I'm big on collaboration because we need other people to lean on. That's why COVID in the 2020 was so dramatic for some people, because we couldn't feel and touch and have the support physically of people. We're designed that way. So the Collabo Call is really for us to come together and lean on each other, to give and to take. Because then it's an exchange, reciprocity, ebb and flow. That's what life is about. And one of the biggest blind spots is if we keep giving, and we're not able to receive, not only are we blocking somebody else's blessings, but we're blocking our own. So you do have the right to receive. So next time someone offers you a gift or offers you a helping hand and says, hey, you know what? I saw your social media. It's pretty mediocre. I'm a social media expert. I would love to help you. I could jump on a call and give you some tips. You know, just receive it with open arms. Thank God and say, oh, thank you, Jesus. And then keep it moving. Yeah. All right, ladies, let's get to the last one. The last one is one of the most important things. And I kind of touched upon it already. Stop doing it alone. Right? Stop doing it alone. Now, let me tell you, I'm talking to me, talking to you, talking to me, okay? I'm having a mirror conversation just to say, because look, I'm looking into the camera, envisioning you beautiful people watching. I had to tell myself that, to stop doing it alone. I've learned to be an independent woman. It served me at that time that it served me. But in this day and age, I've learned interdependence. You see that? Interdependence. That's that next level. Well, we're not relying on each other and needing each other from a needy perspective, but we're collaborating with each other for the greater good. Because if you really knew yourself, going back to number one, and knowing the benefits of why we're here, if we get a bunch of women together that know why they're here or discovering why they're here, what couldn't we do? But if we're all isolated, which is what I've been running into I meet so many phenomenal women, some that are speakers here on the Best You EXPO, some that are authors, speakers, trainers, some are just running their households, some are just, starting a new business, making masks, whatever it is that you're doing. You may even have a team. Don't get me wrong. It's some of you, we're growing because we know, there's only 24 hours in a day. So you may even have a team, but who do you lean on? That's why we have the Collabo Call, which I'll share with you in a moment. So if you could stop the screen, producer, I just want to get right up in here. I would just want to have a real talk with women right now. You could stop the screen share. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to connect with you guys. I really want to, if what we shared today, if what I shared so far has resonated, if you're like, ooh, that was me, or ooh, I understand that, then you're here for a reason. The reason why I deep dive into the power of our mind is because there is something special up here that we don't tap into. How do we tap into that value? Factoring in all the blind spots that we just talked about. There's no way you can do it without knowing how this thing works. The best things in life are free. You might have gotten a complimentary ticket to the Best You to hear this message right now. How do you use this powerhouse of a mind that has been given? And let me tell you, the world is waking up. The world is saying, think positive, get rid of fear and get rid of that, and you can do it, and anything you set your mind to, you can achieve. Think and Grow Rich, all these great concepts out there and words, and they're right, they're true, they're empowering. But if we don't truly understand it to the depth that it hits and sinks in what's between our ears, it actually can slow us down. Because then we feel like, well, yeah, I should think positive. But what happens when you don't? Then we kind of get down on ourselves like, well, I know I got to think. How many times have you said that to yourself? Yeah, I know, I got to think positive. I know I shouldn't have the fear, but you have it anyway. See, my goal is to go deeper. I've spent many times traveling alone. In Japan, I will never forget when I first got to Japan. And it was my first drastic move from Canada. I graduated university. I was working in finance, and all my other peers were lining up jobs at financial institutions. Oh, did you get a job at TD Bank and RBC Bank? And these are the top banks in Toronto, Canada. And I was like, no, I just slaved for 3 years because I wanted to speed up and get out of university because I didn't want to be there. I just did that for the paper. And I was like, I slaved for 3 years. I took double the load so I could graduate early. And I did not do that to go behind the office desk for 40 years of my life at a bank. So I decided to live.
To find out about my latest projects, get a free coaching lesson, or download my book, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
And when I went to Japan, I ran. I was terrified. That was one time in my life I was truly terrified. I'm like, this can't be life. There has to be more. When do I live? And so when I jumped on the plane, I went totally other side of the world. I went to Japan, and when I got off the flight, I had to take a boat and a bus and a bicycle. I had to take a train, all forms of transportation to get to this remote island called Imabari, where I used to live. And I looked around and I said, it was all these like funny characters. And I was like, how am I going to read that? Like, that's not English. It's not, if it was Spanish, I could kind of stumble my way to pronounce it, but it's character. What? And I thought to myself, Chantelle, you wanted something new. You wanted to elevate. You wanted to grow. You wanted to expand your mind. Welcome. Don't you want to grow and expand and go deeper? You know what you know, and I know it's brilliant. It's phenomenal what you've been through. Let's go deeper. Let's understand why positive thinking can hold us back, can actually keep us trapped. Because we got to get congruent thinking that is aligned with us. There's so much more behind that. So that's why I have the Mindology Academy. So let's jump back on to the PowerPoint. I'm going to share with you just a couple of more slides to let you know what to expect. I don't do social media. I haven't done a great job at social media thus far, but I am getting better. And you'll see as we pull up the slide again, I'll be able to share a little bit about more of the Mindology Academy, where I'm actually doing, like I said, 103 days, because we're launching in April 16th. So from when I started in January to April 16th was 103 days of the Mindology Academy. So producer, if you can pull that back up. Oh, you guys are awesome. Okay, and you can go to the next slide. So what that is about, this was Les Brown talking about, it's just been a blessing to partner, work with, to be empowered by, to be side by side, to be on the same stage even as Les Brown. And he shared how, the last line is what really touches my heart, is that Chantelle, she will pull the greatness out of you. And that's my goal. As we move to the next slide is I'm now in the process of, with these wonderful women that we're meeting and I'm partnering with together, and I'm just deep diving into who they are, pulling the essence out of them if they haven't done it yet. Now, a lot of women have. So we can either take the essence or pull it out of you and package it in a way that we can share your expertise on the academy. So Mindology Academy, it's growth-minded, spiritually grounded, and practically focused. Truly is where women leaders go to grow. So if you are interested in being part of the pre-launch, just text me. We're doing a lot of work right now. In January, we're going to be launching more on social media starting February. So you guys got the sneak peek. So just text our office line. It's 424-328-1517. It's up on the slide. Just text pre-launch and we'll connect. You may be an expert in your own right. You may be interested in being part of the pre-launch. Text it and we'll share some more information for you. So the next thing I'll share about Mindology before I wrap up is, if we go to the next slide, a lot of people ask, well, what is Mindology, right? So Mindology Academy, really, of course, it's the principle of mastery, mastering two realms. I define it this way. Mindology is a beautiful alchemy of the spiritual world and the physical world coming together through the power of our mind. This is manifestation, ladies and gents. Why do visions board work? Why do vision board work? Why do vision boards work? Is it magic that we just cross our fingers and picture our car, and all of a sudden it's on our driveway a year or 2 or 3 or 10 years later? No, there's a formula. This is the depth that I'm talking about. Let's go deeper behind the things that we know we should be doing or we know how to do, but do we know why? That's what the Academy is about. So if you can share the essence of who you are, if you want to learn the essence of the mind and why, not just how, not just what, but the why. You know why that's important? Because then you could do it every time. Have you ever manifested something that you wanted one time and then didn't another time? Check us out. We're coming. So text us 424-328-1517, and I'll be happy to be able to share with you whether you want to. And I may have some partners online. I can't see the comments, but they'll probably be putting the information in the chat there for you. If you want to be part of the pre-launch for students, for the participants, you can participate in other people's greatness. Amazing. We have some insane, phenomenal, like, people think, Chantelle, you're crazy to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I really want to provide a lot of value up front. So I have a very awesome package full of value for those who are going to be the first, just for the first few, right? So let me know and we'll get that started. So if you want to be a participant or if you want to be a contributor as an expert, right? I'm looking to lock arms. I'm big about collaboration with amazing women. So if you're a female leader, you have something to share, you want to be able to pull your essence out of you, that's part of my superpower. So regardless, I got you, and we'll turn it into something magical for people to learn and grow. Then let us know. Oh, I see a comment. Hello. Regards from Malaysia. Oh, Malaysia. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to visit that country. So thank you so much. Make sure that you text us the information, and we'll love to stay in contact with you. All right, so let's go to the next slide, where I'm just going to share a little bit about I don't know what I'm going to share. I'll let you know when we go to the next slide. I forget. Oh, tapping into your true value. Thank you. So tapping into your true value is one of the key essence. And I just really I just wanted to give you guys this quick visual, because if you click through, there's some things that are going to pop up. The iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is what we show people. And if you click again, the underneath is who we are. And if you click one more time, you'll see that's your essence. So let's pull that essence out of you and share it with the world. Remember to text pre-launch to 424-328-1517 if you're interested in the Mindology Academy pre-launch activities. So last thing I wanted to share, and I alluded to it earlier, is the Collabo Call. So for those of you who are interested in collaborating with other like-minded women across the globe, so my friend from Malaysia, join us, and all across the globe, then I want you to join us on Saturday, January 23rd. There's a registration form that it should be in the chat clicking. If not, if you go to the next slide, my lovely producer, thank you, you've been awesome. There's a flyer there. It's really a bit.ly/Collabo Call. It's really about a collaborative environment, amazing powerhouse women coming together to share knowledge, to grow, to be vulnerable. It's a no judgment zone. Do you have a product or service to offer? Do you need help in something? Do you need a mentor? Do you need a mentee? Let's just collaborate. We cannot do this alone. I'm very big on action. I never, ever talk about a problem without offering a solution. I shared some challenges earlier, the 5 blind spots that a lot of women leaders need to realize. And here's the solution. Join, be part of the Academy if you're ready to do so. You got the details. Connect with us. If not, and you're deciding, well, I really just want to collaborate, or I want to find out more, I want to see more, join us on Saturday, the 23rd. The link should be in the chat. We would absolutely love to have you. And I'm going to take one last, just in case. Actually, I don't have it up there. Let me just see. What I will do when the phenomenal hosts, I know they're going to jump back on in a minute. I will post the link as well in the chat for you guys to have that. So join us, because never do it alone. And I'll leave you with this. One of the greatest discoveries of life is truly knowing who you are at your core and sharing your essence, your gifts and talents with the world. That's what we stand for. So connect with us. We'd love to have you, and let your brilliance shine and let your God assignment be fulfilled. My goal at the end of the day for me specifically was for God to say, my good and faithful servant, because I did what I was born to do. And it starts with it continues with the Academy, and there's more to come. And there's more from you too. So connect with us, join us. It is such a pleasure to always be here at the Best You, always attracting the best people, the best speakers, the best communicators, the best team. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Speaking of the best, we got Crystal here.
Girl, oh my gosh. Once again, you have rocked the stage. You
thank you.
Essence of humanity, both men and women, and just really have gotten to the core of what all of us need. I mean, mindology, I call myself the jumpologist. You're the mindologist. All about what you said. And of course, I have like a ton of notes.
I appreciate you. That's amazing. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for sharing. So we got a couple minutes. Is there somewhere people can check out you more on a website? As I know you've shared that in your share, but we like at the very end to share it again.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go directly to contactchantelle.com. Contactchantelle.com. All my social, everything is in there. Everything you need to know is at contactchantelle.com. Make sure you spell it with a C and a double L-E.
I love it. I can tell why you're world traveled. I mean, you're such a pro, so it's an honor to
thank you.
With you. And we've worked with Les Brown for years. Bernardo really looks up to Les Brown as well. So we all know that's an honor, and that's quite a big accomplishment to get those accolades from the man, and his daughter, his wonderful daughter. She's amazing as well.
Yes, Ona, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And it's now too, like they all are.
Stage, I mean, all of the, Bernardo knows some people.
There we go.
Well, cool. So, Chantelle, if you want to wrap us up, not Chantelle, Crystal, if you want to wrap us up, I know we're going to my dear friend, John DeMartini from The Secret. I've taken his courses. I filmed a little documentary for him. So I know that man personally. I look forward to introducing him, but I don't want to misrepresent Chantelle and let you guys, because I know you guys know each other well, on how you want to wrap this up for us.
Yeah, I'm just very excited about your university. I'm also excited about the Red Table Talks. I'm also excited about all of what you do for women and pouring into women leaders, because all of the different things, again, that you mentioned as the 5 blind spots, there's even more than 5, but those are specific ones, obviously, that you see over and over. And just your approach to it, how you articulate. Tony now knows that I'm a word person. And so your words are just amazing on how you're able to just pour into people, because we need to have someone able to just like break it down. Okay, women. Okay, ladies, like this is it. And so I know why God has entrusted you with all that he has, because you are a good and faithful servant. I can't speak for God, but I can speak for me that you continue to touch people's lives. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, because that means so much. That truly does. And it's an encouragement to keep going.
Thank you for checking on me while I was sick too. So
100%.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to say farewell, and we'll see you throughout the halls of the Best You during Dallas, or during, we've moved on to Miami.
Miami.
Yay. I got my wardrobe from Miami. So.
Oh, wait, I have one last question. Now, you've been everywhere else. Have you been to Miami?
Oh, yes, I've been to Miami.
Okay, all right.
My parents are from Trinidad, so there's a carnival. There's a carnival in Miami, so I've been there a few times. So
you're all good. You're all good.
It's the carnival. My ex is from down there in St. Lucia. So,
there you go.
So I got to know all the islands. They said, be careful when you go down there. The mosquitoes are going to like your blood. They said they're going to go for you. So, yeah. Sure. All right, well, we're going to say bye-bye, and we'll see you in the halls.
God bless.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.